These microplastics are everywhere. Take this table saw, for example. Over 94% of brands contain microplastics. They're even on top of Everest. So, if they're gonna be here for a while, I think we owe it to ourselves to get to know them a bit.
እንደምከረማችሁ የስኬት ጉዞ ቤተሰቦች፣ እንደምታስታውሱት ባለፈው ሳምንት ስለ ማይክሮፕላስቲክ ቪዲዮ የተሰራውን አይታችሁት ይሆናል። ያላያችሁትም ደግሞ ገብታችሁ እንድታዩት አጥብቄ እነግራችኋለሁ። ምክንያቱም በጣም ጠቃሚ ነው ለህይወታችን። ይሄ ማይክሮፕላስቲክ በዓለም ውስጥ ብዙ ነገር ጉዳት እያመጣ ነው። ደግሞ የተሰራጨው በመላው ዓለም ነው። በኦሽን ውስጥ አለ፣ በመሬት ውስጥ አለ፣ ሁሉም በልብሳችን በምንገዛው በሁሉም ውስጥ ስላለ ስለሱ ማወቁ ተገቢ ነው ብዬ ስላመንኩበት ነው። እንደገና ደግሞ ለሚቀጥለው ጄኔሬሽንም እንደዚሁ አሁን በፕላስቲክ ሞልተን ይሄንን ነው የምናስረክበውና እስቲ ደግሞ እያንዳንዳችን እንዴት ልንቀንሰው እንችላለን የሚል ነው የዛሬው የቪዲዮ ትኩረት። እና ሪሰርች አድርጌ ካገኘሁት ስለዚሁ እንዴት አድርገን መቀነስ እንደምንችል የሚመክሩን ሰሩትን ቪዲዮ ለእናንተ ደግሞ እንደገና በሚመስላችሁ መልክ አቅርቤዋለሁኝ። እና ይሄንን ነገር ደግሞ ተግባራዊ ለማድረግ ደግሞ መሞከሩ ጠቃሚ ነው። ለኛ ብቻ አይደለም፣ ለሚቀጥለው ትውልድም። ይሄ ማይክሮፕላስቲክ ናኖ ፕላስቲክ የሚባለው በጣም አደገኛ መሆኑን ባለፈው ቪዲዮ ገልጫለሁ። እናንተም ደግሞ በየግላችሁ ገብታችሁ ማየት ትችላላችሁ። አሁን ወደ ዛሬው ቪዲዮ እገባለሁ። ከመግባቴ በፊት ግን ሰብስክራይብ ያላደረጋችሁ ሰብስክራይብ እንድታደርጉ አጥብቄ ጠይቃችኋለሁ። ደግሞ እንድታበረታቱኝ ደግሞ በጣም አሁን ደግሞ አጥብቄ ጠይቃችኋለሁ። አሁን ወደ ቪዲዮ እንገባለን። ከዕለት ተዕለት ህይወታችን ውስጥ ማይክሮፕላስቲክን ለመቀነስ ምን ለማድረግ እንችላለን? ፕላስቲክ መክተፊያን ከቤታችን ብናስወግድ ወይም ባንጠቀምበት፣ የእንጨት ወይም የቀርከሃ መክተፊያ ብንጠቀም። ይህ ድሮ ወላጆቻችን በእንጨት መክተፊያ ነበር የሚጠቀሙት። ዘመን አመጣሹ ፕላስቲክ ደግሞ ለል ያለ ቢሆንም ደግሞ ችግር ደግሞ ያለው በመሆኑ እሱን እንድናስወግድ ነው። ምግብን በፕላስቲክ እቃዎች ውስጥ ከማስቀመጥ ይልቅ በጠርሙስ ነክ ነገሮች፣ በሴራሚክ፣ በሸክላ እቃዎች ውስጥ ብናስቀምጥ፣ ምክንያቱም ከፕላስቲኩ የሚመጣው ለኛ ለጤናችን አደገኛ ስለሆነ ነው። ሌላው ፕላስቲክ ራፕ፣ ይሄ የምግብ ስናዘጋጅ የምንጠቀልልበት ስስ ፕላስቲክ ከላይ የምናደርገው፣ እሱም ደግሞ በተለይ የምንጠቀመው ውስጡ ያለው ምግብ ሙቀት ያለው ከሆነ ይሄም ደግሞ በፕላስቲኩን በመልቀቅ በጣም ጉዳት ያመጣል። ስለዚህ ቢስዋክስ በሚባል መጠቅለያ ብንጠቀም ጥሩ አማራጭ ይሆናል። ሌላው ደግሞ ምግባችንን በፕላስቲክ ውስጥ አድርገን ማይክሮዌቭ ውስጥ ማሞቅ ደግሞ በጣም አደገኛው፣ ብዙ ቦታ የሚነገረው ደግሞ ይሄ ነው። ከሙቀቱ ሲመጣ ከዛ የሚመጣው የሙቀቱ መጠን ከፍተኛ ስለሆነ ይሄም ወደ ጤና እክል ላይ ስለሚያጋጥመን በሴራሚክ፣ በመስታወት፣ በሸክላ ሳህኖች በተሰሩ እንድንጠቀም፣ በተለይ ማይክሮዌቭ ውስጥ በምናሞቅበት ጊዜ። ሌላው ደግሞ ዘመን አመጣሹ ማብሰያ እቃዎች አሉ፣ ነንስቲክ የሚባሉት። እነዚህ የማያሳርሩ ያለ ቅባትም ሊሰራባቸው የሚችሉ ናቸው። በእርግጥ ለአሰራሩ ለምኑ ደስ ይላል፣ ግን አሁን በጥናት የተመጣው ደግሞ እነዚህ ብዙ ፕላስቲክ ማይክሮፕላስቲክ ስላለባቸው ስለሚረጩ፣ በተለይ በምግብ በሚሰራበት ጊዜ እሱን አሰጉዳችሁ ልክ እንደ ድሮ እንደ ወላጆቻችን በብረት ማብሰያና በብረት ድስት ማለት ነው፣ ብረት ድስት፣ የመጥበሻ የመሳሰሉት በሸክላ ይህን በመሳሰሉት እንድንጠቀም በሚል ስቴንለስ ስቲልም አለ እና በዛ እንድንጠቀም ያው በጣም ይመከራል። ሌላው ደግሞ በፕላስቲክ ጠርሙሶች ታሽጎ የሚመጣ ውሃና ሌሎች መጠጦች በተመለከተ በተለይ በፀሐይ ከሞቀ በኋላ ከዛ ስንጠጣ ብዙ ማይክሮፕላስቲክ ወደ ሰውነታችን እናስገባለን። ስለዚህ በብርጭቆ እንድንጠቀም በጣም ይመከራል። ወይም በብርጭቆ ወይም በሸክላ እቃዎች፣ በተለይ መኪና ውስጥ ተቀምጦ ውሃ ከዛ ላይ በመጠጣት አደገኛ እንደሆነ ነው የሚነገረው። ስለዚህ ይሄንን በተቻለ መጠን ሙሉ በሙሉ ማስወገድ እንኳን ማንችል ከሆነ በመቀነስ ራሳችንን እንድንረዳ ይገባል ማለት ነው። ሌላው ደግሞ የፕላስቲክ እቃዎችን እቃ ማጠቢያ ማሽን ውስጥ በማስገባት በከፍተኛ ሙቀት ማይክሮ ፕላስቲኮች እንዲፈሱ ስለሚያደርግ ይህ ለጤና እክል ያመጣል። ስለዚህ በምንም መልኩ የፕላስቲክ እቃዎችን ወደ ማጠቢያ ማሽን ውስጥ አስገብተን የእቃ ማጠቢያ ማሽን ማለት ነው እንዳንጠቀም በጥብቁ ይመከራል። ሌላው ደግሞ በተቻለ መጠን ስቶር ስንሄድ የምንገዛቸው እቃዎች በፕላስቲክ የታሸጉትን እቃዎች ቀንሰን በጠርሙስ ውስጥ በሚሸጡ እቃዎች ላይ ትኩረት እንድናደርግ ነው። ምክንያቱም በፕላስቲክ ያው እንደተነገረው ሙቀት አለ፣ ቅዝቃዜ አለ፣ ስቶሩ ሲቀመጥ ብዙ ነገር ፕላስቲኩ የተሰራበት ኬሚካል አለ። ያ ሁሉ ብዙ ጣጣ ስላለው በተቻለ መጠን ሙሉ በሙሉ እንኳን መቀነስ ማለት በተቻለ መጠን አዌርነሱ ካለ ወይም እውቀቱ ይሄ ነገር ጠቃሚ ነው ጎጂ ነው የሚል እንትን ካለን አትሊስት በጠርሙስ ያሉትን እቃዎች ለመግዛት መሞከር ማለት ነው።
That we ingest 5 grams of plastic a week.
There was another study that found 100% of stool samples had plastic.
Yeah.
Do you know how many pounds of plastic were made last year in our world?
I do not.
880 billion pounds of plastic. That, for me, when I saw that number, I was like, wow. And then they tried to estimate the amount of plastic that ever in history has been recycled. And they said 9%. I thought that was maybe a bit high, actually.
Right.
But that is a staggering amount of plastic that's just ending up just sitting around doing nothing, taking up space and causing problems. What if, say, you lived in a totally remote, rural area, you're like, listen, I'm not buying anything plastic, I'm not having any plastic packaging, I'm not drinking out of plastic. Do you think those people even have some plastic in them?
Yes.
Studies have shown in very rural, remote communities that do not produce any plastic because of bioaccumulation and water contamination, even those people have plastic.
Is that a bad thing?
I was just gonna say, so why does it matter? What if can't you just like maybe poop it out?
Well, that's if it stays in your GI tract, and I'm sure you do poop out quite a bit of it.
Interestingly, there was another study that found 100% of stool samples had plastic.
Yeah, so you are ingesting it, so you are passing some of it, but some of it is staying in your body. Okay, so this isn't the kind of thing where if you take in some plastic, you're going to die immediately. It's not like cyanide or any of the other poisons that will kill you immediately. But it does accumulate in your body, and it has been implicated in some health effects. Obviously, cardiovascular effects must be related since there's plastic in the plaques that we're taking out.
So that's number one. Number two would be metabolic health. So obesity and type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance, that has been implicated. And this is because plastics have been linked to things like oxidative stress, free radical generation, inflammation, all these low-grade chronic processes that are related to so many illnesses. That's number two.
I would say number 3 is, and you're probably guessing it, cancer, right? Whenever we have these man-made chemicals in our body, we are at risk of cancer because they're not natural. Our body doesn't know how to react to them. It can trick our cells into becoming cancerous cells. So cancer is one of the things that we worry about with plastics in our body.
Then number 4 would be endocrine disruption. When you hear about endocrine disruptors, a lot of times BPA is talked about this, a very specific type of plastic. And this can impact your fertility, it can impact your pubertal development, as well as hormone-related cancers, so estrogen-related cancers like breast cancer or prostate cancer.
Right.
And then the last one would be developmental,
like
right?
You said, it's been found in the placenta, so it does affect the fetus. So yeah, definitely developmental. So there's still an emerging body of evidence coming out with exactly what these plastics are doing. But suffice to say, there is some concern out there in the medical community that these microplastics, nanoplastics in our body can do harm to us.
Right.
On the long term.
Yeah,
okay?
For sure. And we don't know we don't know like a safe level, and so it's not like, okay, I got my maximum plastic for the day. I think all we can do really is to do our best to eliminate it and make other healthy choices in our life to hopefully reduce the impact of some of the plastics.
Right, exactly. So don't get to the point where you're so stressed out about this. We're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because this is just part of life now. Okay. But these are the things you can do to try and reduce that part of life that's getting in your body. Can we come up with 5 things for our viewers that they can do to try and reduce the amount of plastic that ends up in their bodies, in their carotid arteries, in their liver, in their kidneys?
I would say yes. Okay, so number 1.
I would say probably one of the most important things, and I'm guilty of doing this all the time, is do not microwave stuff in plastic containers.
Okay.
The reason is because as you heat the plastic, some of the chemicals leach out quicker. Anytime you're trying to speed up a chemical reaction, if you heat it, it speeds it up. So if the plastic is sitting there frozen, there's less likely that some of that plastic is going to get into your food. If you nuke it, it's going to get into your
Not microwaving food in plastic containers like plastic bowls or plastic Tupperware. What happens is the heat activates those plastic molecules within the containers, and then they leach into your food to be consumed by it.
Number two, I'd say use alternatives and kind of in this vein. So use things like glass or wood or metal for your storage containers, for your cup, for straw, whatever. So try to get rid of the plastic rather than just not heating it.
Seems obvious. If you don't want the plastic in your body, don't put it in your mouth.
You're storing your food in glass or metal containers, and be using a stainless steel water bottle instead of plastic water bottles, especially if you leave it in your car or if it gets heated up during the day.
Most fridges that dispense water have to filter your water. Okay. A charcoal, because these are particles, micro and nano size. Mechanical filtration system will remove a good majority of that plastic.
Right.
So charcoal filter system you can put on the main line of your house if you're drinking tap water around your house. If you're only drinking water from one place, put the filter on that place.
Yeah.
Up to the next level and install a reverse osmosis or double filtration system for drinking water. I thought that the filtration unit in our fridge was good enough, but apparently some of those canisters that you put in the fridge to filter your drinking water don't have enough filtration for the really small particles.
So if you are shopping, look for, and you have to somehow use plastic, try to look for a specific kind, look for labels that say things like BPA free, and a lot of them now will document, even the tin cans, well, if they are BPA free, they're usually going to say it. If they're not, they're probably just not going to address it.
Yeah.
So they're not going to say they have BPA, but they're just going to be quiet about it.
Yeah, number one is
polyethylene terephthalate.
Check out the big brain on Brad. 2 and 4 are a high density polyethylene. Low density polyethylene. Number 5, polypropylene. So those are the plastics that are a little more durable, a little less of them leaches out into it. Right? High density polyethylene. That's what we put that in people.
In people's knees and hips.
We do. Yeah. We do it. It's an implant. It's a total hip replacement, total knee replacement, right?
You know what's funny is that
if you can reduce the single-use plastics that you're using, then that will also contribute to your reduction of exposure to plastic.
Makes sense. There's your 5.
There's your 5. Okay. So now in BPA you mentioned.
Yeah.
Bisphenol A.
Okay.
That is a synthetic chemical added to plastics. It's important in the manufacturing of certain types of plastics.
Okay.
And it was found to be particularly harmful to human health.
All right.
That's why there's been some regulation on that, and that's why you're seeing all these sort of signs and symbols and labels that say BPA free. Okay. So numbers 3, 6, and 7 are
PVC, polystyrene, and others.
Others, which are other ones that are bad for you. Polystyrene is styrofoam. We've known for a while now you don't put styrofoam. But those styrofoam cups are particularly bad for you. 3, 6, 7, try and avoid. Three, 6, 7, try and avoid those as much as possible. 1, 2, 4, 5, those are a little better. Try and avoid all plastics. We told you 5 things you can do to reduce the plastics.
If this is so bad, then why don't governments just do something and say, hey, we're going to ban all plastic?
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Everything. The government's made of plastic.
Yeah, the government is made of plastic.
Yeah.
And so a lot of governments are working to reduce single-use stuff, but at the end of the day, honestly, we're going to ban straws. Like, straws are a small part of the problem. So it's the packaging and a lot of the food packaging, because of the types of life that we live. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere.
And we started on receipts that you get from Costco or Sam's Club. Apparently these receipts are filled with these chemicals that you often find in these microplastics, something called BPA that can be a pretty powerful endocrine disruptor in the form of mimicking estrogen. So much that bag is coated in plastic lining that literally melts into the popcorn that you're going to be consuming. So here's some really quick wins for this. Make sure that you are cooking with the cast iron or stainless steel cookware, pots and pans. Be drinking from a warm plastic water bottle that's been sitting in the car. All that plastic from the container is leaking. Another example is if you are still cooking with Teflon pans, those can release toxic fumes and microplastics into the food, especially when those surfaces are scratched or overheated. And I'm sorry, a full-on HEPA grade air filtration system for your home. He actually had to upgrade his air conditioner because the filtration was so small, it needed more power to push the air through. Another thing that you can do for cooking is switch to Himalayan salt instead of using the regular salt that often comes from the ocean that unfortunately specifically is really contaminated with microplastics.
But these are the things you can do to try and reduce that part of life that's getting in your body.
Now you know. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, your thoughts on plastic, what you do in your home to reduce plastic use.
And no offense to our plastic surgery colleagues. That's a different thing.
It is.
You are in charge of your own health.
See you next time.
ለዛሬ ያዘጋጀሁት ቪዲዮ ይህን ይመስል ነበር። ያለፈውን ቪዲዮ በማየት ሰብስክራይብ፣ ላይክ እና ኮሜንት ያደረጋችሁትን ሁሉ አመሰግናለሁ። እነዚህ በአይን የማይታዩ ጥቃቅን ፕላስቲኮች ከምንበላው ከምንጠጣውና እንዲሁም ከአየር ላይ ወደ ሰውነታችን በመግባት የሚያመጡብንን የጤና እክል ምንጫቸው ደግሞ ዓለምን ባጥለቀለቀው የፕላስቲክ ክምችት ነው። ስክሪኑ ላይ እንደምታዩት በsciencelearn.org በተሰራው ቻርት ላይ እንደ ወረቀት፣ ልብስ፣ ምግብ፣ ብረታ ብረቶች፣ እንጨት የመሳሰሉት ፕላስቲክ ነክ ያልሆኑ ነገሮች ወደ አፈርነት ለመቀየር እስከ 5 ዓመታት ብቻ የሚፈጅባቸው ሲሆን ከፕላስቲክ ነክ የተሰሩት ነገሮች ደግሞ ከ25 ዓመት ጀምሮ እስከ 500 ዓመታትና ከዛም በላይ እንደሚፈጅ ያሳያል። በዚህ ሁሉ ዓመታት ውስጥ በውሃና በመሬት ውስጥ በመስረግ የሚያመጣውን ብክለት አስበን ለሚመጣው ትውልድ ደግሞ በማሰብ ቀደም ሲል የተረዳችሁ አጠንክራችሁ በመቀጠል ሌላውንም ደግሞ ግንዛቤ በማስጨበጥ በተጨማሪ በየቤታችሁ የምትችሉትን ሁሉ በማድረግ አጠናክራችሁ እንድትቀጥሉ ቀደም ሲል ደግሞ ያልተረዳን ነገ ዛሬ ሳንል በየቤታችን ቤተሰባችንን ለመጠበቅ እንደምንችል ከዛሬው ቪዲዮ የተማርነውን ወደ ተግባር በመለወጥ እንድንጀምር ስል ጥሪዬን አቀርባለሁ። በተጨማሪም ይህን ቪዲዮ ለሀገር ለወገን ጠቃሚ ነው ብላችሁ የምታምኑ ሁሉ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ለብዙ ሰዎች ደግሞ ደርሶ ግንዛቤ እንዲያገኙ ሼር፣ ላይክ እና ኮሜንት በማድረግ እንድታበረታቱ እየጠየቅ ስለ ማይክሮፕላስቲክ መረዳት ያለብን ብዙ ነገሮች ስላሉ ወደፊት በቀጣይነት ቪዲዮ በምጭንበት ጊዜ ወዲያውኑ እንዲደርሳችሁ የደወል ምልክቷን እንድትጫኑ የሚል መልእክት እያስተላለፍኩ የዛሬውን ቪዲዮ በዚሁ